Yeah.
You don't have to listen to what Travis is saying.
Oh, okay.
Just listen to, find the sequence.
Yep.
It's just like Uno. Whenever you can call Fibonacci, then you start speaking, and it's going to be right.
All right. Fibonacci sounds like this.
That's a good song.
I know these pieces will fit. I know they will fit.
I just showed it to my math teacher, and I got an A.
You got an A. Do they have any more records?
Oh, this is Mickey Mouse math.
Honestly, I think I hate Tool a lot for a lot of reasons. And I think if you were to give Tool fans the option to listen to Tool or to vote, they would take Tool.
Yeah.
So maybe we should give them that option.
They would vote for Tool.
They would go, I want to listen to Tool. I don't need to vote.
Yeah.
I don't want to vote.
What is voting going to do for me that Tool hasn't already done?
Right. So I'm thinking maybe there is something done about that.
Dun, dun,
Dun,
dun,
dun,
dun,
dun, dun, dun, dun.
Nice.
Dun, 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 dun. That's not Tool.
That's fun. Hello, welcome to Roast Mortem. It's the finest show. We never say anything bad about Italians. My name is Tom.
I'm Travis.
And in studio tonight is my good friend and man famously known for how his weekend has been.
Oh, wow.
Justin Walland of Heavy Hole Dangerous Thing fame.
Hey, guys. My weekend was good.
Oh,
there it is.
Yeah, you have memes about how good your weekend is.
I don't think I have. I think there's meme about it.
I think there's
a meme, just
there's
one.
One of those Drake memes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Yeah.
Stop it, everybody.
Leave it alone.
Here's
Master and Commander of Weeks, Tom. I mean, you know, you gotta learn about the best segment.
Well,
how do I get in here and I hijack all the weekend talk? They just care about me and what I do.
I don't
I'm
think
the star of the show. I know the most about metal and dead people, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you're taking over, but they want to know the most important thing. How was your weekend? What'd you drink? What'd you fish? What'd you do to your car? These things, they're important.
Yeah.
I'm not going to ask you right off the bat. I want to ask Travis first.
This is why I'm here.
Let's wind up. Travis, how is Portland?
Oh, you know, it's abysmal. There's meth vans on fire right next to my house. That's great.
That's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah.
Free secondhand smoke.
Everything's burning. I mean, no, actually, not the forest fires haven't really been burning as much. They still are, but it's mainly hobo camps burning.
I don't see any problems here.
I'm also hot for hobo camps.
I mean, what are hobos but just human ash littering the street?
Yeah, they're the people that they're the kebabs that come already made with the peppers on them.
Yeah, so I got like collections of skin flakes floating around the city. I'm doing okay. I don't really have much to report. I've been getting my tinfoil hat designer tinfoil hat.
Oh yeah,
Dolce Gabbana tinfoil hat that I've been working on. Ordered.
You got
for this episode.
A Von Dutch tinfoil hat.
Yeah, Von.
Yeah.
Although the Pip Vipers are in the mail, Tom
showed
flexed them last time. Justin is like the messiah of Pip Vipers.
I saw them one time and I tried to bring them to the North Shore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you did it.
Again, full credit. Yeah,
you did it. I mean, I have gotten texts from many friends that just tell me they're in the mail. Like, that's the coolest thing you can say. It's like the fastest way. And I don't hate it, but it seems to be a theme. It's like, I didn't order Pit Vipers. They're in the mail.
Exactly. Put it on your calendar. 2 to 3 business days till I'm fucking rocking.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm guilty of that too.
You see a lot better though.
I see. Well, I definitely look better.
You look better.
I don't know if I can look better. If you know what I mean, depending on how you read that.
Well, let's save the best for last. The master of weekends. So Tom, how was your week?
It was great. I had a great weekend. I hung out with my friend Ray, and what seems to be Ray has been telling us he has a girlfriend for the better part of a year now.
Yeah, for a while.
And we thought he was a liar, but it turns out that he wasn't a liar. He has a nice girlfriend. And we had a great time. We got drunk. I sang karaoke. But the night before, more importantly, is I ran into a daywalker at night.
Oh.
Ooh.
Yeah. Wasn't.
Oh.
We've made some references about this daywalker on the show, but you don't know who he is.
Oh my goodness.
And it's great. My future brother-in-law, the first thing he says to this guy is, "I love your Instagram."
Oh, solid.
I was like, Okay, so if you don't know, there's a man who's a vampire, and he started a Patreon or a GoFundMe to become a vampire for people.
Yeah.
Whatever you think that means is exactly what it means. There's not a lot of depth here.
Sanguine transition.
Yeah, so I grew up with this kid, and he stops me everywhere I go. I wish he didn't, but he did. And he got called out for being a vampire, which I don't think he knew I knew about, and that I had been studying him from afar. I'm giving myself away too much here.
Yeah, and that most of the funding for his blood actual sucking excursion was funded by you.
Yeah, exactly. I want to see more.
Yeah.
My first reaction was, oh, this man. No one should pay to make another man a vampire. That's a one man's journey. But then I realized we all need a little help, and that I didn't want that to stop. I didn't want that gravy train for my entertainment and research to stop.
It takes a village,
right?
Yeah, to entertain. I love when the affluent, when the just the mansion creeping vampires grace us with their GoFundMe links. I feel seen.
Yes, mansion creeping is a great way to describe this gentleman.
Yes,
I'm very happy you have all your blood, though, Tom. You texted me about this, and I'm like, I'm glad you have your blood.
Did I text you? I was hammered.
I got a text from another friend saying, "I got away. Tom didn't."
Yes.
Oh yes.
Yeah, one of my good friends watched me melt into disappointment.
Yeah, you say you never leave a man behind, but you know when it comes down to it,
you have to.
You got to go.
I don't begrudge him for his decision. Yeah. But either way, I survived a vampire attack. And Justin, how was your weekend?
Blood is so precious.
It is precious. I need every drop of it. Apparently,
it's so sweet and precious. It's so delicious and precious. My weekend was good.
Yeah,
is this good? You didn't catch like a giant tuna fish? Come on! What? You saving it for your own show? Come on, that's so rude.
Well, here we go. All right, maybe we can segue out of this. All right, maybe we can kickflip out of this now. So I've been experimenting with small aerial vehicles. You might know them as drones.
I thought you were thinking of vampire bats.
Justin, you becoming a pod racer?
Oh my God. Yes. So this is all, we're all folding in on top of each other right now.
Yeah.
So I've combined my new kind of interest in drones with fishing. And I've been hooking my fishing line up to the bottom of this drone and pointing the camera down and seeing whichever, like, so you see the face of the fish. They just want snacks. Like they want the sweet hors d'oeuvres that I'm flying out to them. And I will send this drone out to wherever it needs to go. It's like DoorDash for fish, like kind of thing.
And can you pull them up with the drone? Can you get them?
What the drone is only the delivery system. Okay. It's like the Dasher's not gonna spoon feed you your fucking soup. Like, so you got to get out there yourself. That's what I tell the fish. Do your part. Help me out, please. So I send the bait out, and it's fun. And then you sit there and you wait, and then nothing's happening.
Nothing happens.
Nothing,
fish. That's why they call it fish.
Yeah, it's
I heard you say that before. So
what's that now?
That's why they call it fishing.
That's why they call it fishing. This is what my father has said to me.
I think you've said that to me 6-7 times a week,
as much as I can
for a long time. Yeah, for a while.
That's why they don't call it catching.
Right.
Yeah. So big elephant in the room. We're recording this a day earlier because you probably won't have power when this episode comes out.
Yeah. Henri, some French idiot, is going to come over here and rip all of our shit out and make our trees put them down where they belong.
Yeah. About to goatsy fucking Long Island. Big old broadside.
Yeah. So Mike was like, I don't know, man. It's Saturday and I'm 24 and I need to try to get laid.
Oh, man.
This is what he said.
Yeah. No, I can understand.
He might actually have a hard time leaving the house right now after that Gotti episode. He was very scared. He was texting me all week. He's just like, I just ran into an Italian guy. It's like, what happened? He said nothing.
Yeah, I know a very dangerous man with sharp teeth that might be able to bodyguard for him.
He's got a lot of free time because he told me he was getting a divorce, which is
what?
The romance of the vampire.
What? How did you leave that out?
I don't know. There's so many details. I feel like I'm not really telling the story that well. A lot of our listeners don't know this guy, but he has 2 beautiful children that I'm sure are also daywalkers.
Yeah, I'm sure that he will pay for for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
As a man on the cusp of marriage, I love a divorce story. I fucking love it.
Yeah.
And will this bite me?
All right. Speaking of bite, let's take a chunk out of this episode and get into the meat, if you know what I'm saying. Travis,
yes.
Who's on the chopping block?
So, all right, boys, we have roasted a lot of historical figures. We're coming up on 200 historical figures on the show.
Okay.
And, we've done people that have represented religion, they've represented their craft, they've represented their nation, but never before have we roasted somebody that represented our entire planet. Every single one of us. This guy.
He's got us covered.
He's got us covered. So, surprisingly, you will not hear his name in any history books. No. I mean, we have a man that's an ambassador for Earth, and you don't know his name. His name is George Adamski.
Okay. Do you think because he works on such a macro level is why we don't talk about him in history class?
Yeah. I think there's a lot of reasons we don't hear about him, and it has to do with the government not wanting us to know the truth and be free. It comes down to it.
That's right. They think Jesus is a little easier to swallow.
Yeah, well,
but everybody's got a boss.
Well, we're going to learn the secrets about Jesus tonight too. So hold on to your butts. Not only did George photograph a spacecraft from another world, he made contact. And he even accompanied these extraterrestrials on a trip around the solar system. Come on, why don't we know about this guy?
Let me show you around.
Wow. I know who's burying him, and I think it might be of a few of those billionaires who've been flying around, trying not to get, little Bezos, little Branson, little Elon Musk. They all meet up in a room, start jerking each other off, going, "Jeff, you go take those books about Adamski off the website.
We'll get off the shelves.
We're gonna be the space people."
Yeah, fucking Bezos with his little fucking cowboy hat. Fuck you, George.
If you haven't heard him talking, did you watch that when he came back?
No, I didn't watch.
Oh my gosh, it's so fun. His voice is like, you would never think that this guy had $1 to his name. He sounds like one of these people who belongs on the street of Portland getting backed over by U-Hauls of rich people. Moving him like he's like, space is so great.
Yeah,
I loved being up there. It was an adventure.
It's like,
what? Like, you destroyed the economy?
Yeah, you emitted a lot of gas, and it sounds like you breathed it in. That's how you
came back with a lower voice. Like Steve O's.
Yeah. Well, did you know? Well, I actually heard that he wasn't really in space. He was like just like the edge of space.
Yeah, and our boy was in space, dude.
That's right.
Awesome.
So some people might call George Adamski a UFOologist. Very distinguished term. I'd call him an American hero.
Would you? Isn't he a global hero?
Well, no,
it's the same thing.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, exactly.
Pardon me.
Come on.
Pardon my phrasing.
Right. Yeah. What are borders anyway?
Yeah.
So this little ambassador to Earth was born on Earth. can't be ambassador if you're not born some places. So he was born into a place. Yeah, he was born into a very angry little place called Bromberg, Germany, on April 17th, 1891. Now, if we've done a lot of these shows, you know who Germans love a lot.
Like
big fan of
Ramstein.
Yeah.
Ramstein?
Hot dogs.
Yeah. Football.
Do you mean this in an ironic way? Are you talking about the blacks and the Jews?
Yeah, the women and the gays.
Yeah, well, they love those people too, but the Polish. Especially.
Oh, the Poles. Yeah, that's
Yeah. So George and his family were Polish. So when George was just 2 years old, his family gave up the pretzels, Hefeweizen, and big titty ladies with pigtails and moved to America. Specifically a place called Dunkirk in New York, all the way up on Lake Erie.
Hell yeah. Get out of our country, but welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's Polish, but he's born in Germany. So he was like we need to be depressed.
Yeah. No, his parents are like, I don't want a little depressed boy. This boy's got greatness
Right.
in
Okay.
his eyes.
Well, shout out to the mom to recognizing the little glimmer in his eye that this man will be doing great things.
When you grow up, you're going to work at a HES station
Yes.
in Dunkirk, New York,
Mhm.
and you're going to be very proud you're going to own your own stand-up lawnmower, and you're going to change the world.
And then one day, a man's going to tell you, hey, you could sell this box of Kit Kats in your gas station.
Oh, dude. You ever heard about Amway? You just want to turn the show into an Amway pitch?
Dude, we got to get into Amway. That's going to make us more money than Patreon.
Yeah, right.
Short for the American way, right?
Of course,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
I think that's the case. But either way,
One day.
this woman is the parents. They're stupid because he probably could have found out about aliens if he moved to a real place first, not Dunkirk, New York.
Oh, well, he's going to get there. So
Yeah. Well, thank God
When
Hitler
George-
didn't get his hands on this beautiful kid
Yeah.
and get all the
You
aliens.
yeah, you can't bring a kid from Germany straight to Roswell and be like, here's your aliens. You got to ease them in, dog.
I don't know. I'm new to this.
Yeah. So when so this is very important. This is an important thing in this script. Georgie boy only made it to the 3rd grade because, and then he dropped out because, I don't need to learn. Who needs to learn anything? Learning's dumb.
Yeah, I'm
Now-
learned.
You might consider this a Polish joke. So when he dropped out at the 3rd grade, was he what, 18, 19?
Hey,
ow!
Hey,
Oh.
Bassa.
So George grew up, he's in Dunkirk. It's cold as hell up there. He grew up with no real life prospects. So he was like, I'm going to join the U.S. Army.
Cool.
That's good.
So from
In 3rd grade. So do you remember your 3rd grade teacher?
Miss Lipset.
Yeah. Was she nice? Did she teach you?
She was she let the classroom do anything she wanted. We broke the chalkboard.
Broke the chalkboard.
Right. Yeah.
What were you doing?
Some kid threw a marble at it and it fucking shattered because
That's
she was just
awesome.
like,
Wow.
yeah.
Well,
So did she teach you to look up at the stars, perhaps?
Yeah,
And
she
one-
also looked to the front of the classroom and saw that flag and was like, "You guys better get patriotic, all you Poles born in this classroom. You gotta learn what freedom is."
That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah. So don't judge. That's all you need.
right. And then when you're over there, like you're saying, you come from Germany, you're the Polish man, you're allegedly kind of stupid. You join the army. Perfect recipe
This is
to
great.
fight for a country that
Yeah.
you might not like.
This is like
Yeah.
Jack Black in Mars Attacks.
I've never seen Mars
Yeah.
Attacks. You know that? Did you know something about me? I haven't seen it.
I did not know.
I
this.
like when their brains explain.
Explain.
I thought you were
That's
rapping.
Yeah, me too.
Yo, let my brain explain.
My brain explain. All right, so he was in the I think he was about 17 when he joined. So he was in the U.S. Army from 1913 to 1916 in the 13th U.S. Cavalry. Now you might be like, "Oh, those dates sound familiar." He must have been in
Mhm.
World War One.
Mm.
No,
Right, yeah.
because unlike what you learned in every U.S. classroom, the United States joined late in the game for World War One, only swooping in when they could take the glory. The U.S. was actually at war at the time with Mexico and the revolutionaries Pancho Villa and Zapata.
They were
So-
also every warm blooded American. They were also mourning the loss of the Titanic. So
Yeah,
That's
we
true.
still
yeah,
are.
sorry, sorry. We were a little too sad to fight when we needed you.
Yeah, Woodrow Wilson, he took a while. Did you know Woodrow Wilson slept like 11 hours a night?
How?
I don't know. He was just one of those he's like, I'm so busy being the president, I need to sleep. I never
Dude,
got anything
Woodrow-
done.
Dude.
We have to go back to Woodrow because he's a real piece of shit. that
I-
guy.
I don't know enough about him. I know he liked to sleep a lot, and I know that he was late on the game with World War One. 1918.
And he's big on the KKK.
Was he? Well, that means
Yeah.
he
Wow.
this colorless man. Then.
And I'd also I just like to know what kind of pillow he's using because that's a really good night's sleep.
Yeah.
As a man who tosses and turns and just only cares about sleep and not what you did historically that ruins your reputation.
Okay, this is what
So about this.
we know. It's 11 hours or whatever, but he may have been tossing and turning and just jerking off for 11 hours. So,
Yeah,
continue, Travis. Take us back to a real man.
What a man does in his own bedroom is probably sticky.
I'd say so.
Yeah.
I actually know so.
Yeah. So George was discharged in 1917, narrowly escaping being sent off to the killing fields in France.
Good.
That same year, he marries some lady named Mary. Nothing.
Good.
She's not really important in the story at all.
They never are. This time period is infamously, there's no women allowed.
Yeah, it's a boys' club.
Who's giving me my son?
Yeah. Time to marry Mary.
Being a woman was a profession back then. As much so as like fry cook. Like you just they existed. And that's really all we know. It's important, but continue, Travis.
If being a man was considered as much of a profession, man, we'd be way more in space right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
We've been doing this show from space live and in the future.
Yeah, and like with honor.
Yeah. For honor.
You've never seen Mars Attacks?
No.
That's insane. That's like absolutely insane.
It always looked great. I was like, this movie
There's
looks
a reason
great.
for that.
Yeah.
I just never saw it, dude.
Well, I remember those alien. What do they sound like?
Yeah, they're like it comes from this whole comic background and little bubblegum rappers.
So these two, he's a man on a horse in Mexico. He's like, I got to go find a good place to live. Now that I'm not in the army, I'm not going back to Dunkirk. So they moved to Yellowstone National Park, where George worked as a painter and decorator. So I don't know what he was doing. They painted some trees, eating some moving mushrooms around.
Put moss on the rocks.
Yeah. He only worked like 3 days a year. It was only the Christmas trees, the pines. He'd paint a little snow on them because it doesn't snow like.
Yeah. This little pond's got a little more water than this other one, so let me move the water around.
This is for the American boys and girls.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I do. I'm going to skin some raccoons and make stars out of them.
The decorations were very strange back then.
Morbid. Very strange.
Yeah, it was. People think that pelts, the value was on the furry outside patterns. Actually, it was on the inside.
Gooey
veins. It was the gooey veins.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He actually started the whole flapper dress, but he would do it on brown bears.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Well, you need a production model.
Yeah.
Working. I don't want to say this. No, I'll just say it.
Say it.
For the modern woman, he was thinking ahead. And he was looking. Back then, they were skinny as trees, so he needed a bear.
Yeah.
Continue, Travis.
This man not only looked deep into space, but into the future as well.
It's like you guys are getting pretty wide. Let's do this.
So during the 1920s, George started to buy into Helena Blavatsky's Theophacy.
So, Travis, what do those words mean?
Same
okay,
here.
so Helen Blavatsky. I had a book on her, and I was doing some research. She was this wacky, occult, psychic religion kind of lady that she was out in like Europe. And I had a book, and I started reading it. And then the last podcast on the left put out an episode about her, like right when I was reading the book. So I'm like, fuck, I shelved it.
Yeah, we can't overlap. The problem is with having a better show than them is that people don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So we have to distance with.
Yeah, it's a great show. This is my first time listening to being on Roastmore. I'm actually listening to the episode as I'm on it.
Right.
This is my first time. I'm a huge Last Podcast fan, though.
Yeah, I mean they did it.
Do you know what number episode that is, Trout? Because I'd love to listen to it.
Well, thanks for the Ridge Wallet-esque shout out to a podcast. I refuse to talk about any podcast on this show.
Listen to episode
like
69 of Lot for Human Consumption, or not. No, not for Last Podcast Consumption. I'm mixing up all my fucking shows.
All right, you can edit. Who edits this?
Zwick.
Yeah, you could edit all that out, Zwick. Nice to meet you.
So Theophacy.
What a bad joke. I'm sorry.
No, leave it. Leave it, Zwick.
Theophacy is this weird, like, spiritualist religion. It's kind of like a Chinese buffet of all the spooky, creepy shit in different religions. So it's Christian, but they also believe in like a bunch of Indian stuff, like chakras, karma, and reincarnation.
Right. And as being like 1/3 of a science show, we know all that's bullshit.
Yep.
I don't know.
It's a-
I want to reincarnate into a raccoon.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
I know you do. you want to reincarnate as Travis Lee having sex with a raccoon.
Maybe.
You want to be inside a raccoon when you come to and go, oh, I remember my old self, and I wanted to do
gross
this.
because I'd be a baby.
No, because you come to you're like 12 years old, and it's like, oh, I had a past life. You don't remember before. Everyone knows that, and it's all bullshit anyway.
When I want to be reincarnated as an astronaut.
Oh, hell yeah. You're going to be like Billy Joel Armstrong.
Isn't he the guy from Green Day?
No, he's the guy that walked on the moon and was like, I'm an American idiot.
Yeah, he was like, oh my God, look at this suit. I'm having the time of my life.
Yeah. Something
These are
unpredictable.
Deep cuts.
Yeah, let's reincarnate the episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So-
Stay tuned, listeners. We're gonna reincarnate this. Incart it. We're just gonna cart
Reincart
it.
it.
Fuck it. Cart.
So,
Short talk.
George goes ahead. He's like all about this shit. Like, oh, I love India and that stuff. That's cool. So he forms a cult, and the name of his cult is the Royal Order of Tibet. Because why Tibet? I mean, it's really, really far away, and you could just make shit up, and the average American will be like, "Oh yeah, that's totally what Tibetan people do."
Where do you say all this stuff's taking place, bud? Tibet. Where the hell's that? What is that? What is that?
I'll bet you don't know. Yeah,
Is that near Florida?
Yeah.
Where,
I see all the respect that the Masons are getting, and the Knights Templar and all this shit. I want some of that. I want to go to Tibet.
yes.
They have all them flags they put up in your dorms, and then you're
What are
supposed to pray to them.
Well, that's cool. So he starts this cult, and like back then, it was easy to start a cult.
Yeah,
Right.
especially because we're entering the 1930s. We're just moving through his life. Everything happens at the end. So it's moving into the 1930s. He makes this cult, and prohibition sets in. So he's like, oh, I could just make wine because it's part of my religion. So he starts making booze for the Royal Order of Tibet, his cult.
Hell yeah.
Cigarettes too.
You know it. Lucy's.
Nice. Cult
Fun.
of Lucy's.
Women? Was he making short dresses as well?
Good question. What was his take on short dresses for his cult people?
Well, you see, he also was very strict with like Christianity, even though he was into all this weird shit. So I'm assuming that the dress probably was like had a trail on everything.
I can't believe this guy.
Yeah.
You can't make a cult and then also have your go fuck some shit. Go stick it in and tell other people that they can't do that. Fuck every guy and girl who walks in for a free sample and just see what happens.
Yeah.
Don't you know who I am? I'm from Tibet. I'm Tibet.
Yeah. So he's never actually been to Tibet. He doesn't know what Tibet is. He's still in South Dakota at Yellowstone.
Does he
hang out
look
with
like
bears.
Mickey Rooney in Breakfast at Tiffany's, like walking around all Chinese,
Yeah.
like yelling down the hallway, like, come to my club. Also, ding dong or something.
Yeah. Welcome to Yellowstone.
Someone had to say that.
So
the population of in this area like currently there's like 5 people.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
So who's in his cult? Is
Right,
it,
well,
like some squirrels, pine cones.
Yeah, that's the thing is he's in South Dakota. There's not a lot of people to make your cult. So he's like, I got to find more people. I need to go find the certain type of people that will join a cult. So he's thinking warm weather, people that chemically bleach their assholes, people that believe in homeopathic recipes and sage their house. LA, baby. That's where he's going.
Nice.
We're in the movies. That's what he's saying to himself.
That's right.
Yeah. Specifically, he goes to Laguna Beach.
Hell yeah.
with
Kicks
Bean-
down the doors
Bean
of the
Beach.
beach.
Yeah, I got that too. I speak a lot of French. Most of my language is French. And that's what I got. Bean Beach.
Bean Beach.
And they don't call it that because it's close to Tijuana. You would think so. But
You would think.
you would think that the refried would make their way up, but it's not.
So he's in Bean Beach. His cult keeps growing and growing. And as I mentioned, his spin on this theophacy is that it was more of a Christian angle with little bits of Asian mysticism. And of course, George was a healer. He believed in metaphysics. And he taught something that he called universal law.
Hell
And
yeah,
the reason why he did that was because his approach was way more scientific than your average religion.
Well, here's the science for you right now. You bring the Tibetan rice to Bean Beach. You got rice and beans. Boom. Law of the universe.
Damn. That's how
Beautiful.
like 97% of the people live on this earth. And fortunately for our listeners, I think that's only some of them. So shout out to rice and beans and keeping everyone intact.
Smartest man alive. Let's go.
Now remember, George has a George has a third grade education here.
It's pretty
Universal
high.
law.
Yeah. But what does Hollywood have?
Wow.
That's a
Like-
good question.
Collectively, it's like almost nothing. Like just stupid idiots.
Single,
Like, well, I'm
double-digit
special.
IQs.
They got dreams, man.
Dreams go a long way.
Dreams,
Visions.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to keep saying honor for some reason. I don't know if they have that.
Dude,
LA
they have
has its own
synergy,
honor.
baby. Synergy. Capiche?
They have equinoxes.
Yeah, now they got rice and beans.
Yeah.
So into the 30s, George started writing books on this universal law and telepathy. The guy knew how to do telepathy. Can't forget about that. It's important.
No.
We should do a telepathic episode.
I mean, our view, they're not listeners. Our our clients,
Our remote viewers.
yes,
Yeah.
our remote viewers.
remote
that
viewing.
wow, that's the new Patreon. That's why there's nothing on our Patreon right now. It has nothing to do with the inner turmoil of the show. It has all to do with all the content being telepathic.
Yeah, it's all telepathic.
Also, beware who you encounter when you're astral projecting, because you don't know what other people's power levels are, and you might not be prepared for that. So just make sure that you take into account your own, psychic power and proceed with caution.
Yeah, a lot of Cuomos out there. Careful,
Yeah, a
ladies.
lot of people.
Careful,
that-
ladies.
Yeah, ladies. A lot of people will kiss your brain telepathically.
Take all your stupid stones and throw them in a river because it's just inviting a telepathic Cuomo.
Yeah, and you're also making a really sweet river to visit on vacation. Like wherever that river is, it's all the cool stones on the bottom.
Just dump
Yeah.
dream catchers. Give them to the homeless.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Do we know what this universal law consisted of, or is it not important at all?
To be honest, it's not super important. Like I said, it's like it's a religious buffet of mainly like Indian and Buddhist and Chinese religions, and
It's like the universal title.
yeah, no, it's not super important. But it will be referenced. The concepts will be referenced again when he's finally the ambassador. So in the 30s, he was making bank with this cult. He was selling mail order lessons on telepathy and doing talk radio because, like he's basically the original Joey Rogue.
Yeah, dude.
I mean, Joe Rogan, I don't know, like, we have to do an episode on him because he died recently. And it's really sad, but
Rest in peace.
maybe we don't talk shit about him because some of his guests have shown us how to live.
Do you fucking need the post office if you're telepathic? Do you need this?
Good point.
Good point.
Joe Rogan with his third eye used to tell us.
I keep a flask in my pocket. I take a swig of it whenever I see a Joe Rogan third eye tattoo on some
People-
Long
budding
Island
MMA
meathead.
fighter, some comedian upstart, some lonely woman. I just
Yeah.
love it. It's
Yeah.
my favorite.
So as the 40s rolled around, George was now
Rest in
entering
peace, Joe.
his 50s because he was born in 1891. So that makes
All right.
sense. That's called math.
It sounds like he got a lot done, to be fair, but we're kind of breezing over how he did it because it's not so documented.
Well, when you talk about it's not so documented, and also when you talk about being the ambassador to Earth, a lot of great accomplishments get overshadowed, like universal law.
Oh yeah, true.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
considering he never went to medieval times in 6th grade, only got to 3rd grade, like he's doing pretty well.
Yeah, he's doing pretty
Good
well.
point.
He doesn't know anything about history that you would get if you went to medieval times, had a turkey dinner, and yelled at knights. So he in the 40s, he's like, it'd be great Let's start a commune. Got to move all my friends, all my cult friends, out
Hell yeah,
in the
dude.
middle of nowhere.
Okay.
It's the 60s somewhere, man.
Yeah.
It's 60s clock somewhere, brah.
Yeah, so he goes to his cult. He's like, hey, everyone, Asian Jesus told me we got to reach Nirvana, so we got to move out to the desert to Mount Palomar, which is like near San Diego-ish, like in between San Diego and L.A.
Okay. That sounds like there's like a soap made named that.
See, I was getting hungry while I was reading my book because I kept thinking of Malamars. Shit I can't eat. Oh, I love Malamars, baby.
Dude.
You're not eating Malamars?
No, I'm doing keto.
Oh, dude, how is your... let's take a little real-life break. How's it going?
Yeah.
How's the keto? Are you still fighting Randy?
Oh, no, Randy threw in the towel, but I'm still ketoing.
Good.
I love this.
I found out about these things called magic noodles. So it's like a root. It's just like slimy ass hospital noodles, but I could eat noodles.
Okay. This
Yeah.
is a point of survival.
That's
How
good.
much have you lost so far? You're
Like-
looking good.
35 pounds. Hey,
Wow.
Yes.
Nice.
yeah, slimming down.
Yeah, buddy.
Are you
Losing-
going to equate any of your success to universal law?
Yes, it was all universal law. I only lost 5 pounds doing keto, and then I started reading about this. And I
Right.
lost it all at once.
Are you?
And you're looking hot.
Is your main motivator to lose weight to be easier to be beamed up?
Yes,
will.
yes, yeah.
Yes.
There's a weight
Less-
limit. There's a weight limit to the beam. You know. Yeah.
Less energy to be beamed up, more energy to party. I think
Yeah.
that's.
You got to
I
keep
think
these lights on.
That's in Mars Attacks, Tom. You should watch that movie.
Oh,
I'll
and these
watch that
little-
movie. That movie seems awesome.
It's great.
And these fuckers like to party. We'll talk about that. So they're like, let's go to Mount Palomar, which is an interesting place to choose because they were building the Mount Palomar Observatory, which was a massive telescope that took a very long time and by the time it was built, it was actually obsolete, which is how government and science works.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I think that's what I'm feeling.
I
about
have.
it.
There's nothing funny about that.
By the time they finish the roads, we're going to be skateboarding in the sewers.
Yes.
Universal truths coming to you 2023. Get
So-
ready.
Yeah.
Wear your sewer mask. Watch out for that sewer variant.
So one of George's followers, a woman named Alice, started a little cafe on the road up to the observatory. So their commune was like one of those like homesteading things where like they're all just like building their shacks, but they're like getting their shitty materials by working at this cafe that this woman Alice built.
Okay.
They also called their shithole commune Palomar Gardens, but it sounds like just kind of a trailer park.
Yeah. Or there's definitely a suburban sprawl community, same name.
Yeah.
Right there, right now.
Yeah, right now.
Getting bought
It's
up.
luxury
a lot of Dodge
condos
Rams
now.
in that community.
Yeah,
A lot of Dodge Rams.
and probably some mail order telekinesis kits. Or
Yeah. So
how do I get myself out of this marriage? How do I do this?
I got to
don't
buy
wanna be
this.
here.
Can you fly one of those over to Afghanistan real quick? Because I got to find out who my wife is fucking. Okay.
this little cafe that was open, the Palomar Gardens Cafe, became a little famous greasy spoon for the scientists and tourists that were working the observatory. There's no place to eat. It's the middle of fucking desert. And like, here we go. Guy making a crazy Polish man making hot dogs and hamburgers for you.
Yeah, hey, enough with the lizards. I want a hot dog. Let's go.
So George bought his own telescope, and between flipping burgers at the cafe, he would charge people to take a look through his telescope, look at the stars, right?
Right.
I know where this is going.
Yeah. He would often lie and say that he worked for the observatory, even handing out a business card where he called himself Professor George Adamski.
All right.
Yes.
Okay. I accept it 100%. Because accredited? Huh? What are you talking about? What is a master's degree? What's a PhD anyway?
It's a piece of paper.
This guy's changing the world with flipping burgers, as you just mentioned. He's making money, but also standing there like an old timey. I'm assuming he has an apron tied around
A suit.
right,
Yeah.
and a miniature apron covering his pocket cover, his pocket protector.
Yes.
And he's talking to people just be like, you want to catch up on that? Also, you should come on by. I'll tell you how to live. Just come on by my place, Palmetto Gardens.
I can imagine nothing tastes as sweet as showing somebody the galaxy and getting slipped a 20.
Yeah.
His eyeballs must have been large.
Dude, you know what? Quick question. Is this guy, what's his stance on alcohol and all that crap?
I'm assuming that he liked alcohol because he was making wine during Prohibition.
Oh, right. I forgot about that. But, as things change and some cults are, like, super anti that, and then some people are super into it. Like, I don't know. Maybe he got all teetotal, or maybe I'm making that up.
You got to think, as, a third-grade educated man, he's probably facing a lot of problems in his life that he's like, I don't know what to do. So he's just drinking about it the whole time.
Yeah.
And he's drinking and drinking. And,
That's what I've been doing.
Yeah, because I can't figure this book out.
Right. I feel like I have a third-grade education, maybe like a fourth-ish at this point, because I've drank enough to remove. I've removed a lot of thoughts.
He was a 50s man, so he did smoke a lot of cigarettes. We do know that confirmed. Like,
so he was very cool then.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah, now I can finally relate.
Yeah, connect the dots. La 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 la.
So here is where the fun begins. So for years, George had been looking through his telescope and describing what he called saucers. And he started to infuse these otherworldly crafts into his little cult that he had built. Now, in actuality, a friend, because this guy became super popular, and a friend that he was bootlegging wine to in the 30s told reporters that George had said to him before he moved to Palomar Gardens, I want to get into that flying saucer crap.
All right, I gotta ask. I feel like I'm not criticizing your reporting on this very important man, but what I am doing is I'm asking this question. Why is it always like a friend talking to a reporter? What were reporters like that they had all the time in the world to just talk to people and go, that's funny something, eh? Tell me more.
Isn't that their job?
They're taking for the scoop.
But like, I can't, but who? All right, so you're saying the guy's popular enough where if people approach a reporter and they go, hey, I got a story about George Adamski, they go, sit down, let me buy you a coffee.
Yeah. Hey, Mickey, why don't you go out there to Palomar Gardens? I got a hot scoop that there's some galaxy brain going on over there.
Oh, that sounds good. I'm into scoop. I'm really into scoop recently.
Yeah, go in there. Maybe I'll throw a few extra biscuits your way.
Oh boy, biscuits and scoops.
He's got two bosses.
But you know what I'm saying? Like,
dude, this guy was that big that there were reporters looking for scoops.
Okay.
Wait, yeah, they weren't looking for the straight tortillas. They wanted to get more fucking salsa on every bite.
Extra, King of Tibet looking at the stars. Come on.
So George's first. All right, so just to give some perspective, in 1946, that is when Roswell happened. So
47. We were just talking about
47. Okay, 47.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Pre-roll conversation.
Yeah, so it's very hot right now, flying saucers, right?
Right.
Then in 1946, George claimed to have photographed his first UFO during a meteor shower. Conveniently enough, I mean, that's a great time to take pictures of things in the sky. And it looked like a long boy, like one of those Tic Tac men that you see in the news nowadays.
Oh, big coincidence there.
Yeah.
Yeah. This all checks out.
I knew it.
Now, for the remainder of the 40s, George would go around Southern California giving speeches about his flying saucers that he was photographing. He even made claims that he made claims that he had inside info into the Palomar Observatory and that they had discovered that Mars had man-made canals that were built by intelligence far greater than any man on Earth.
I mean, we saw it. Come here. They got third graders on Mars building tunnels.
Wait, so they have canals, but they're also flying here. They have the technology to fly, but they still need a canal?
They're big in the gypsies, the pikeys.
I love how tradition takes precedent over intelligence, even on Mars.
That's right. That's
Oh,
like
yeah.
you see what your big brother's doing, but like, and he's driving like an F-150, and you're like, all right, I'll get like an F-250. Like that's Earth and Mars.
Right. You got to add up. But yeah, like you got to think, like if you're a Martian, you go, I got all these canals, just like, well, we have these craft that defy gravity. It's like, but I'm trying to ruin this planet.
Yeah, I like water.
Don't get in my way.
Next thing, I'm gonna put water in these canals. One day, my Martian bride, I'm gonna fill your canal with water. You mark my words. Before I'm done on this red planet, I'm gonna fill this with water.
There's a fine
it with
pint
water.
of space water that I have procured for my wife, who is now divorcing me and leaving me for a vampire, an Earth vampire, man.
Yeah, actually, maybe all the liquid on Mars is red. And that's why we can't see it.
That would make a lot of sense. Stop going there. Stop going there, everyone. I know you're on your way.
Sorry
to
to-
listeners. Stop it.
Sorry to burst your bubble, Tesla, but the secret's out. It's red liquid.
Can we just make the oceans red here?
Yeah, but it's just you see me every weekend. I go out to the Pacific and I drop Kool-Aid packets in it.
You're an American treasure.
Thank you.
You're saving the planet. Tell us more about George and how we got here.
I gotta tell you more about how my weeby needs to pee, and I want to go put nicotine in my lungs.
All right. Careful.
All right, take a quick break.
Red Sea, Dead Sea. I don't know what color to be.
Leave all of that in, Zwick. No edits for you.
Let's jump back in. So there were juicy shits coming. Oh,
Thank God. There's some dry ass rice and beans that we've been covering.
I'm ready for the mothership.
so November 20th, 1952. Adamski and a bunch of his followers just happened to be out in the Colorado desert looking at rocks or something. No, looking at the sky.
Holy shit.
Sky rocks.
Oh,
Great.
holy.
All of a sudden, he sees the mothership. One of the what is described as a cigar-shaped craft floating around, like straight up.
Right. There's like a sound of a dangry-doo from the background, just like, ooga.
So he sees this fucking phallic like turd floating in the sky.
Phallic
then-
turd. Really doubling
Yeah,
down.
phallic
There you
turd.
go.
That's where yeah. So then a little door opens up and a smaller craft flies out. And if you want to open up the chat right now, you can see exactly what this craft is because he got a photograph of the smaller craft.
Oh, thank God. Let me open up this chat.
Yeah. I want to see the child.
It's like a Russian nesting doll. Yeah. All right. Hold on. China is tapping into my computer. Now I could open it. Why is it so stupid?
What? It just doesn't show the picture.
No,
It
thought I had to
downloads.
download it. Oh,
Oh,
why is it not getting?
dude,
this big?
look at this resolution. What?
Damn, dude.
That is
that's
the
real.
alien craft, boys.
Oh my God. Dude, them light bulbs? There's a couple of light bulbs on there. Well, how else are you going to see in dark ass space?
What is it
Justin,
upside down?
Justin, you might say those are just light bulbs, maybe a surgical lamp that he suspended with some wire. And upon closer inspection, you may actually just see the General Electric logos on the quote landing gears, aka light bulbs. But George had a special effects guy, this same special effects guy that did Cecil B. DeMille's films. He took a look at these photos and he said this image could not be reproduced using any special effects.
Hell no.
Cecil B. DeMille, he was a big boy back in Hollywood. So
Yeah.
if his boy is saying, we're going to Mars 2112, everyone, pack your fucking lunch. JK, the chicken nuggets are stellar.
Oh my God.
He's
Yo,
going.
you never had asparagus until you had it on Mars.
Yeah. Unless it came
On
out
Mars.
like the front of an alien's vagina. What do they have? Vagina.
Yeah,
What do
This
aliens-
is a good question.
See, this is the thing. Every alien's is transsexual. We know this, and that's fine. That's actually very comfortable. Talking conversation.
Yeah.
Okay? Everyone's comfortable talking about transsexuals.
Yes.
Now. That's where the fingering comes in.
This is,
A lot of fingering.
they have
See,
long fingers.
Probes and fingers.
Too.
George
That's
never
it.
did the deed with an alien, so we just don't know.
Well, I'm just thinking cloacas. If you don't know what that is,
I don't know. Was it cloaca?
a cloaca is the part on a bird where that merges their urinary path and their shit path. Like birds don't piss; it all comes out as one thing.
Yeah, and they don't have a sphincter either, so they can't control that shit. It just plops out.
This is
Yeah,
efficient, like rats almost.
I don't know. Do rats pee? Rats
pee. I don't think they have a
Rats
bladder
pee,
to
yeah.
store it.
Yeah, I don't know. Either way, a cloaca is what I'm thinking these fellas have.
Yeah.
These fellas and ladymans.
One shoot. It's kind of like how every house usually you just have one mailbox. You have one mailbox for the bills and the junk mail and the packages.
Right.
And you're always every day you're sticking your hand in that mailbox. Like
Right.
it's-
Yeah, and some of the bills and letters are trash, and you just throw them right away. Some of them are great, and you hold on to it. And you put it in your mouth. You lick it.
Oh, thank God, Sunglasses Hut has contacted me with this goopy birthday koozie.
Yeah. So
I like to think that aliens are they have evolved past prefixes and they're just sexual.
They're just sexual.
They're just sexual.
sexual.
Okay, fair enough. I'm in.
So
I've been to Mars 21.
I'm hot. I'm almost there.
And the
Yeah.
motions of those aliens dancing in the bubbles, I didn't care if they had alien tits or not. I was like, this is cool as shit.
Is Mars 2112 still around?
No, they closed down.
No, it closed.
Yeah.
That's why
So for
Elon
those of
Musk
you
right
that
now.
don't know what Mars 2112 is, it was basically Mars Rainforest Cafe.
Yeah,
Right.
It was Mars Bass Pro Shop.
Right. So it was scientifically accurate. It
Mhm.
was delicious.
It's
It had
absolutely delicious.
fettuccine.
Yeah.
You took a spaceship there.
Yeah. And I love that trailer. You just pop into a trailer and they shake it.
They shake it
Yeah.
and they spin it around,
So good, dude.
and
I
then they
love
go,
food.
"Here's a fucking menu.
I couldn't believe that shit the
Okay.
first time I went.
If you don't like the candlelight, go back to Earth."
Okay, so if they see this small craft pop out of the big cigar shaped craft, right? The small
Right.
little boy.
Mhm.
And it goes off, it's flying down, and George is like, all right, guys, you stay right here. I'm gonna go check out that small ship that just landed. Now, luckily, it landed behind a hill, so no one actually saw what happened.
Right.
But George, brave man, he walks over the hill, and in front of this craft is standing a figure, and he made first contact with a visitor from out of this world.
Hey, what's that between your legs? It looks like a cloaca.
That's probably the first question he asked. So we all know the different types of aliens, right? You got grays, you got
Right.
reptiloids, you got little green men.
Yeah, you got insectes. You got
Yeah.
you got Edgar, the bug in the
Yeah.
bug suit.
Uh-huh.
Sugar. You got,
Yeah.
you got other one. There's a few other ones.
I don't know. I remember getting really into this stuff, and I read some of Bill Cooper's work. This is genius, absolute genius. But
Is that Bradley
honestly,
Cooper's dad?
it is Bradley Cooper's dad, and there's a reason that Hollywood is not telling the truth anymore because it's a cover up. It's all a cover up.
Yeah, they don't want to let you know about lians.
Yeah. Look
The
that
truth
way.
about
That's-
lians.
What is Hollywood? It's just a giant corporation going, look that way.
Yeah.
Not the lians.
Yeah, look at that square over there. Look at that big rectangle. Don't look at the
Don't look at that circle.
don't look at the truth. Don't look at that tic tac in the air. Look at this rectangle inside. Away from the stars.
Keep your brain tiny.
All right, Hollywood, I see you, but I see the truth clear.
I don't know if you guys have ever heard of George, the specific alien that George found. He found a type of alien that I had never heard of before called Nordic
Nordics.
aliens.
The Nordics.
No, Nordic. That's a black metal.
Well, it's a black metal riff.
Yeah.
So yes, I didn't say that one because that's one of the best ones to know. And I knew you were going to
Nordic
have that in
aliens?
the script. The Nordic boys, the Nordic track. If you're trying to get in shape, you want to pop on one of them bitches. But if you're trying to get your mind in shape, you want to back it up. Drop the track. Talk to the Nordics. I'm not talking about those fake people up in Scandinavia. Fuck that
What are you
place.
doing?
Yeah.
Fuck that place. It's cold.
It's
Who
it's
cares?
cold. You want to bend over and back yourself up to one of them nice warm Nordics from the space sky.
Yeah. Space Nordics, dog.
Yeah. I just want to cloaca on my butthole. I'm going to spread them.
Yeah,
Okay.
except there's so many more A's and I's when you spell Kroakai.
So the Nordics just basically look like ABBA members, right? They got long blonde hair. They're very, very Aryan. They kind of look androgynous, and they wear tunics with a waist belt,
Like in
shiny clothes.
I see it in the mirror every day.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
that describes you to a T. Tunics included.
Yeah, when I was born, after I was born, my dad told me, he was like, "Listen, if you were like a little taller, we were gonna name you Leon."
Leon.
Apostrophe Leon.
Oh, my friend, a Leon.
Very proud of you, son. I'm proud that you never formally moved to Brooklyn and you were able to stick out.
Yes, you've never left home, but you've been so far away.
So George meets his little Aryan alien, and first thing they do is they do this little palm pat.
They palm pat.
Yeah.
They high fives. Do you say Aryan alien?
Aryan alien.
Aryan alien.
Aryan
alien.
Aryan
Ant farm.
ant farm. Yeah, there you go. That's what I was trying to go for.
So this guy goes over the hill and his first thought is just like, thank God you're white.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Though I met those Grays before. Let me tell you, they have some bad neighborhoods.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. This is a 1950s mindset. I don't think like that. I'm not.
George puts his hand out for a shake, and they do a palm pat.
Right.
Yeah. What does that mean?
Yeah. Describe it.
So I want you guys to put your hands out in front of you. Now get really close, like you're gonna like shake, and just tap your palms.
This is a retarded high five. This is the stupidest shit ever.
It's a slow five.
No grips. No, these aggressive grips.
No.
I hate that.
Where'd you learn that? Jupiter? Come on.
Jupiter.
Come on. If you go to Bayonne, New Jersey, what they do there is they touch each other's penises for hours every time they see each other.
Now, this may look like a regular ass white man, but does he know English? Probably not. He's an alien.
Yeah.
But lucky for George, he had been practicing telepathy for over 30 years.
Yes, dude. So much so he was mailing it out.
Yeah.
Have some of mine.
It's a paper trail.
Uh-huh. So they had a bit of a mind chat. And it turns out the alien's name was Orthon. And he was from the balmy planet Venus. So you're close, Justin.
Yeah.
Jupiter and Venus. Yeah, 1 and 9.
Yo, I'm in the
Pretty
same
far
solar
away.
system.
Yeah.
Hello, my name is Randall Orthon. I am here with my tribal tattoos. I am Nordic and also very tan. I will come at you, boy.
Yes. Hello.
Like a bull.
My name is Orthon. I know that my demo sounds low quality, but I did that on purpose.
I can explain my atmosphere away. Do you like atmosphere? If not, my demo is not for you.
Do you know how heavy the atmosphere is on Venus?
Thick with sick riffs and gooby gobby. Yeah.
So they do this little brain-to-brain docking. And Orthon tells George...
I think it's wrinkled up. I think you call it wrinkled.
Yeah.
Wrinkling?
It's crumpled foreskin. Also,
Yeah.
in the Gotti episode, you used the term violent docking, which I
Me?
would like. Yeah, I listened back to that episode, and you used the term violent docking, which I think is maybe our next hat.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
That you do that with not only the man you love, but also with the USB that you don't know which side is the right side. You violently dock. That's why it's nice to flatten your peen a little bit,
Right.
So it only goes in one way.
I'm a man
Yeah,
of the future.
you have to keep it underneath like a paperweight for overnight. So
Right.
it really
Yeah, like
flattens
you're
out.
like you're drying flowers in a book or something.
I'm from the alternative future. I have to access my drive. Yes, I'm a USB seaman.
Yeah, Orthon and George are doing violent brain docking.
Right.
They tangled up. The wrinkles are just tangled up. It's like
Yeah.
a little bird's nest.
Yeah.
A hot
And-
sexual bird's nest.
Yeah. And George is telling him that he's on a scouting mission of the planet by the Space Brothers.
The Space
That's what they
Brothers.
call themselves, Space Brothers.
Wait, you mean Orthon? You have a brother, and you both shit and piss out the same tube? Like what?
Hey guys, like, do you sit down? You stand up? You do 6 splits?
So the Space Brothers noticed that the shitty monkey Earth people were starting to drop nukes. And he's like, dude, you can't be dropping nukes on
Hell
the
yeah, dude.
planet.
Jose, can you see?
Yeah. There's a Second Amendment, right to drop nukes.
Right. The right to drop nukes. I 100% agree with any nuke that has been dropped. Continue. Because it's the right thing to do.
Yep.
Yes. So basically, this guy's like, dude, stop dropping nukes. The rest of the conversation's stupid. He's like, what is this ship? I don't understand it. And he touches it and gets burnt or something. I don't know.
Yeah. He's like, you know the ship, right? General Electric. We talked about this. Like, you know it.
Wink, wink.
Remember?
Yeah, remember.
You know what I mean?
George,
you're embarrassing me. Come on.
Yeah, George snaps a few more photos of the craft, which were terribly. You can't see anything, but George said it was because of the electromagnetism emitting from the craft would fuck with his pictures.
They didn't have
science.
Yeah, they didn't have Canon 5D Mark IVs back then. The pixel, the depth definition.
Yeah. Look, that's science words, so we're going to have to believe it.
Yeah.
He used science.
I don't know about electromagnets. That's when you fucking put string around a nail.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Every time I've done that, I've gotten an award.
Yeah, and I burnt myself.
Yeah, and actually, the gathering just happened this weekend or this past week. They still went on. Yeah,
good.
So I just want to shout out
to another type of species.
Yeah, right. The generous jug.
All right, sorry.
All right, continue, Travis.
So after he snapped a few pictures, Orthon's like, yo, all right, bitch, bye, and we'll talk later. Now, word spread about this encounter. I mean, it was the 50s. Everyone's talking about UFOs. And George, he's trying to make money. He's like, I met an alien. His name was Orthon. And he was like, stop dropping nukes.
Yeah.
Right.
Everybody had UFOs back then. They all had pickup trucks that used fuel often.
Wow. Hey, Dad.
That's a negative point.
It's been really nice with hanging with you guys. I'll see you later.
Get out of here with that shit. My goodness.
So George's story even went so far as England. And it reached this guy who was the second cousin to Winston Churchill and World War II RAF pilot, a guy named Desmond Leslie.
Desmond.
Yeah. Desmond was enthralled by this story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, how could you not be?
Yep. Not hard to excite Desmond.
Now, Desmond was pretty much working on a book about ancient aliens before Eric von Daniken's Chariots of the Gods.
Right. It's a good book.
Yeah, dude.
Go read if you want to learn.
Yeah. So he sends a letter to George. He's like, yo, you want to write the second half of my book about your experience, right? And George's like, hell yeah, I got a third grade degree, but let's do it.
This is drawings of like what seems to be a penis inside of a vagina, shitting poop. Like, I don't know how you did this. What is it called? You spelt it. What's that? Kolakea? What is that? Kaleki? Is that Hawaiian? Is that a Hawaiian term?
Kalikimaka.
Is this just a pineapple?
So, and it turns out that chick Alice actually was the ghostwriter of George's section of the book.
Thank
surprise,
God.
surprise.
Yeah.
But
he's
George,
retarded. So.
Yeah, George and I've actually. So I'm going to talk about this in a second. But I read one of George's books, and the editors of his book did not correct a lot of the spelling mistakes.
Awesome.
There's like backwards S's and stuff.
That's how you know it's true. Backwards S. It's like I don't even know how we printed the character. It's not even here.
Now, Desmond and George wrote, the book was called Flying Saucers Have Landed. And this came out in 1953 in England, and then came out a little bit later in the U.S.
That sounds like he thought he was writing an article.
Yeah.
He's like, it's going to go somewhere. They landed.
Yeah.
Flying saucers landed. Chapter 1. Orthos told me. The ends.
Right next to Johnny Depp's wife beat him up, and he's landed in a cloaca.
Let him sue.
But
Let him sue a woman.
Let him sue it.
This book comes out, but oh no, there's trouble in Paradise, the Palomar Gardens.
What happened? The electric bill came in?
Is this like early National Enquirer? These are the best headlines.
Yeah.
They did it. They came down here.
They did it. First there was sand, then there were lights, then he came out of the ship, and said, "You don't even know about how big it is."
So excuse me if I get some of these points mixed up, because I read one of my sources was called "Looking for Orthon," written by a crazy man named Colin Bennett. And it was incredibly hard to read because he would go about 2 paragraphs talking about George and then start talking about Lee Harvey Oswald, which had nothing to do with the events.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
They had nothing to do with each other.
Well, no, nothing to do.
We were talking about Hollywood before. What's before Hollywood? The theater.
Right. The big stage.
The theater. And who jumps out of presumably the sky? Lee Harvey Oswald onto the stage after doing what? Crashing his tiny little aircraft into Lincoln's head.
Yeah, that's how history do.
It's the wrong president. Say with the right guy. But also, like,
the truth.
We all know the truth. The truth has many colors.
Yeah. So
And-
according to Colin, there was some sexual tension going on between George and one of his fellow commune buddies, a guy named Gerald E. Baker.
All right, I trust him.
Now, George was all butthurt that Baker got married and wasn't going to give him that pussy. So,
Really?
yeah. So anyway, there was a physical altercation, and Baker and this other dude from the commune started to spread rumors that George had faked all of his pictures. How dare him?
Oh, at least they didn't call him gay.
Yeah.
You're trying to listen. How are you gonna do this? You're gonna Photoshop only the alien pictures, and you're not gonna make your butt look bigger also in your portrait. Like, come on,
Right.
come
Yeah.
on.
Here's me with the alien. Hey, guy, you don't look good here. Well, it's
Here, hi, my name is George. Exhibit A. These are aliens. How could this possibly be Photoshop? See Exhibit B. Here's a picture of me standing up. Look at this totally normal bulge on my pants.
yeah, right.
So normal.
See, if I was Dr. Pictures, wouldn't you want to see me this like huge hog where I could shit and piss out of it?
It's like a fucking Panera burrito because they got those now. I walked by a Panera. They were doing some shit. But all I'm saying is, like, here, Exhibit C is obviously just a man scratching his head in front of a computer. Like, how could I have doctored
How
this?
I do it.
And then it's like, this is me, George, and here's a picture of Einstein, and it's not equal to, I'm not smart enough to do this.
Right.
All I know is how to look and also tell the truth. You're never supposed to lie.
Yeah.
So-
God bless.
So now we got these naysayers of freedom going around talking about the pictures being fake. But that doesn't stop
no.
George. He's still touring around the country at this point. He's touring around Canada. Everyone's gobbling up the story.
Yeah, it seems like lazy, but I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Because he took the initiative.
Also, they were probably using the word scoop. This is a hot scoop back then.
Hot
I just
scoop.
I like that word.
Yeah.
Yeah, excuse me, I forgot my smokes at home. Could I have 10 cigarettes? It's 1953. And I'm trying to get
That's
a
how
scoop.
when people bum, I'm trying to quit.
Yeah, I'm trying to quit. I need to smoke 10 of your cigarettes.
So, as I mentioned, George would have more experiences with these Nordic aliens, right? So, I read a book, his second book published about aliens, called Inside the Flying Saucers. A very great name.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you mentioned he cruised around. Is this like his adventure?
Yeah, so this second one, he has to up the ante. This was published in 1955, and ever since meeting with Orthon, George had been receiving telepathic signals from his alien friends. They were having little conversations.
No
But-
doubt.
yeah,
At me,
but-
yo. Yeah, what's your screen name? Like, that's what's up. That's
Just like, yeah, I'm driving, and all of a sudden I can't see anymore. It's just a giant sup.
No, but they were so advanced telepathically that he really didn't know that he was being contacted at this point.
It's like,
So he,
what do you
right.
mean?
Well, he would just do things, and like he didn't know why he would. So, like in 1953,
Yeah.
George had some urge to go to LA alone. Now,
Mhm.
this could tie into the whole bisexual thing, cheating on his wife, but we're not going to go into that.
I don't care about his wife, so I don't care
either.
if he has sex with George C. Scott.
Well,
It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Why am I getting all these images in my head of other things to put on hot dog buns? Like, I know, what am I thinking? And then, why am I wearing no shirt driving to LA right now?
Yeah.
It's because you were commanded to. You were commanded. You needed to take a look at what Cary Grant was rocking.
That's
'Cause
right.
That's where I would be. 1953, I'm down there. I'm like, who's bringing up baby now? Okay?
Yeah.
I got to see who's rising who.
You also just let me also like add a like 3 letters in here. Maybe the CIA putting images in his head to go back to Hollywood. Stay inside. Stay inside and look at the big white rectangle with pictures on it,
Right.
and not focus on the truth again. Because Orthon is probably doing something else. Orthos.
Yeah, he's Orthos is all over, man.
But he's
Good
probably-
point. Good
He's
point.
probably hopped on. Listen, you always have to like think about how is this truth teller getting bamboozled, right?
Getting
How is he-
fucked.
Right.
How is he getting fucked over by
Right.
the government using our tax dollars?
Right. I don't want to fuck this man. Why do I have to pay for it?
No.
No.
I could probably just ask him. I don't need to pay for it.
No, listen. I don't want to fuck you. I want to share a bed.
Yeah.
Listen, you use the urinal. I'll use the toilet. There's no dividers. Listen, you can, if you use your fingers, you can push down that duty into the urinal. Like, no problem. Actually, it's better if you remove the cake beforehand, put the cake in the sink,
Yeah.
run the water on the cake in the sink, the hot water, let a nice aroma
Just
build.
pretend you're a carpenter and put
Yeah.
the cake in your mouth like a nail.
We're creating atmosphere.
Oh, hold on. I got to scoop out a piss. I'll be right back.
Okay. Zwick, Travis is going to the bathroom. You want to just do this segment through it? We can just talk about what were we just talking about?
We're talking about pooing and peeing in the same
Right.
in
So
the
you got-
same bathroom.
So what we got? We got George
Yep.
Adamski. I'm not sure if Travis is saying it right.
I don't think so. Let's change it. Adamski.
Adamski. So George.
It kind of sounds the same.
So he's in L.A., right? So what are you going to do in L.A.?
well, you're gonna shop.
But where are you going to like eat?
Oh, the I don't know, the Ritz,
Hooters.
Le Ritz.
It's Hooters. The
Yeah,
answer is Hooters. You want to go? You're getting very comfortable right now. It's going to make me uncomfortable.
Oh, all right. Do you want
I'm
the
not-
ball?
No, it's fine. But look,
I'll stand. Listen, I'll.
let's add
fix
in.
my
We'll fill
posture.
in the blanks here. So
Okay.
Georgie Adamski, he's hitting up the Hooters.
Yeah.
And he's looking at these big titty bitches.
Yeah.
It's just like it's not doing it for me.
He's going knuckles. He's going legs.
I've seen an 8-inch cloaca. I'm not. I gotta move past.
Whoa, listen.
Think about it.
Listen, Trina. I know you're trying hard, and I know you got like a kid sitting at the motel right now.
Yeah.
But what I've seen. Listen, I've seen one tube and multiple things come out of it. So you're gonna have to try a little harder for these tips right now. But
Yeah.
I just want to let you know that I'm such a nice guy. I'm back in LA. I'm feeling good.
Yeah.
I got these visions in my head. Something brought me here. I know this is the right place for me. I'm trying to renew my life. I think I'm gonna start working out, like all this kind of stuff. I'm giving you the opportunity now. This is what I've seen. This this fucking midtown tunnel of waste and pleasure coming out.
Right.
Now you take with that what you will. Now you want to make a better life for you and your son,
Yeah.
and I'm here to help you. Listen, I wrote books.
Sew your son's name onto yoga pants and sell them to Cary Grant's people.
Yeah.
Listen, why don't we go to the bathroom together? Why don't we take this urinal cake? We'll cut it up. You can have half. You can have half to do what you're gonna do over there. I'll take half over here. We don't have to look at each other, but let us fill each other in on like what's going on, so we can take tabs. And then after this, listen, I ate only the legs before. I'm gonna finish these like double bone.
Some people
fish
call them
knuckles.
flats.
The flats.
What are you doing? You're like flats.
Yeah,
It's not flat.
it's not flat.
The Earth is flat. This is not.
It's flat.
All right, boys. So he's in LA. And right here we have one of the. He checks in. He's just hanging out, smoking a bunch of cigarettes. Right. And this is one of the first cases of the MIB, Will Smith, showing up.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah.
Isn't the MIB like the Hollywood version, like a bastardized version of the truth?
Yeah. So, like the real MIBs, they're not necessarily from the government. They're like half human, half alien people.
Right. Hybrid folk.
Oh,
Hybrids.
you brought that tall man some flowers.
Yeah.
Right.
What are you doing there?
Let's fix this.
I broke a cigarette.
Oh, I thought you were putting some urinal cake in your beer.
I'm Listen, I can't
He's
smoke.
roofing himself.
Yeah,
in front of it.
I can't smoke in Tom's basement, so I like breaking up cigarettes into my beer.
Oh, okay, cool. So Except these weren't the hybrid alien like MIBs. They dressed like it. These were none other than his Swedish alien friends.
Oh, the Nordics.
What?
Yeah, the Nordics.
Return of the Mac.
Yeah. So George met
That's not how the
George
song
met
goes.
George met two new friends. One of them, a pal named Firkin, who was a Martian,
Okay.
Get out of here.
and Ramu, who was a Saturn alien.
That's a little bit cooler of a name.
A Saturn alien? That's like the laziest way of calling yourself an alien. I'm a Saturn alien.
Saturn alien.
Okay.
Yeah, what's up? I sat on this. I'm from Saturn.
All right. So Firkin. Should we rip on Firkin? Probably not.
It's
'Cause he's still
American.
alive. He's still alive. He's
Yeah.
What hasn't he heard already, you know?
Yeah.
Firk.
Oh, fur, kin. Yeah, what? Yeah, you got kin, that's fur. He's probably heard that.
Yeah. So
It's like-
Firkin and Ramu are like, yo, guys, obviously this is all telepathic communication. He
Right.
instructs George to get into a blacked out Pontiac. And so imagine if this scenario is true, that George is just like, I don't know these guys. Let me get into a Pontiac. Of course, it is true. And the car
Yeah, of
randomly drives off into the desert.
All right. So and he can't see outside. Did they blindfold him?
No, they're fine. He just gets in this blacked out Pontiac, and you know,
He's
Nothing
driving.
suspicious.
Is he driving or is this self-driving?
Well,
Did they bring him a self-driving
Is it
car?
Firk driving?
yeah, Firk's driving.
Firk's driving. Nothing suspicious in Hollywood. It's
Yeah.
just like there's two men making out, going, "Come with us."
Yeah.
And you get in the car, and there's a bunch of children tied up. I'm assuming that's what. Did you just say that?
Yeah, it was a bunch of kids.
Did he owe money?
Yeah. Is
Uh,
he a gambler?
Yeah, I feel like he probably did owe money.
Yeah. That's fine.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, I mean, listen, who doesn't?
Yeah. So it turns out that they were driving him to none other than Orthon, who had parked the scout ship out in the desert. Yeah.
All right. We're
My
going
man.
back.
So he's
It's
like,
later
and
in the movie.
It's a
Yeah.
reunion.
George is
Hey.
like, "What up, dog?"
My guy, I remember the tube.
Yeah. I'm all that too. Oh, George, it's so good to see you. It's your friend, Orthan. I need you to reach inside of my cloaca and pull out what seems to be a rock or something. I was trying the fruits of the area,
Yeah.
and I came up. I ate something rather prickly.
The oxygen to nitrogen ratio on your planet has clogged up my orchia. What is that? How you say this thing?
Cloaca?
Cloacia.
I'm going to need you to reach.
I'm going to.
You could use a sock on your hand if you mustn't use any plastics. I'm allergic to latex.
George, I think you did it. Here it comes. Please open your hot dog bun.
Receive
Receive.
my seed.
Here comes my. That's not funny.
It is a solved
not
Rubik's
funny.
Cube. You can work with it. It's a
It's
game.
solved Rubik's
And believe it or not, when I put it in there, it wasn't solved. I solved it inside my cloaca with my brain.
My Venetian body is a soft Rubik's cube.
Right,
turn-
So
right,
Orthon's like, well, you want to go for a joyride, dog? George's like, fuck yeah. And he jumps in the ship. Now, in his book, he mentions 3 different trips that he took in 3 different ships. One was from Venus, one was from Mars, and one was from Saturn.
Okay.
All these
Nina, the
cruises-
Pinta, the Santa Maria. Let's go.
Yeah, Nina Pinta San Maria. Most of these cruises were pretty similar, so I'm just going to lump them all together and talk about his general experience aboard a craft from another planet.
This is amazing. I love real things.
Yeah, this
So
is science.
Let's go. Carnival Cruise. Where was he at?
Yeah, so right off the bat, he gets sick because he's on a Carnival cruise. Right off the bat, you might be scratching your head, right? How are these aliens coming from Mars, which is a planet with almost no atmosphere? Venus, whose surface is 900 degrees, hot enough to melt lead, and pressure enough to have your head explode. And Saturn, that's just a gas giant that you can't stand on.
Yeah, that is weird.
Yeah, allegedly.
I don't know. They all seem like it might be a little warm or a little uncomfortable.
I mean, there was a song I think Modest Mouse sang called "Float On." I think that's about living on Jupiter.
Nice.
Well,
Saturn.
and those
Let's see.
tears too. Tears of Jupiter.
Drops of Jupiter. Yeah, that was a train.
Is that a song?
They took a train. They took a train to Jupiter and
okay.
they dropped the.
Oh, my old boss produced that song. I
Oh,
forgot
look at
about
this.
that. Yeah,
Hell
he's
yeah.
a fucking asshole.
Get him out of here.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah, so
Fuck that guy into his own ass.
Yo, also, if you can't stand the heat, get out the kitchen. That's
Right.
what I say about Venus. What's up?
Right. So all these different planets are not very good for life. And in fact, these aliens were just humans. They weren't anything special, just humans.
Okay,
Now,
that's very creative.
yeah. So now George explains, and he was told by these aliens that all the planets in our solar system are habitable, which was something that George had been screaming for about a decade in the face of existing science.
He's like, thank God, someone like my friend Orson is coming to tell me what I'm thinking
Hell
is.
yeah, dude.
Yeah.
We're a go.
Hell yeah.
We're going. Okay.
Not only is the Earth flat, but Mars is flat, Jupiter's flat. Guess what? Mercury is flat too, right next to that flat sun.
Yeah, but
When
guess
you're a
what?
gas
You know
giant-
why? You know why Pluto's not a planet anymore? It's a rhombus.
That's right.
It
Yeah.
got too big for Neil deGrasse Tyson. He was like, I don't think so.
Yeah, don't talk shit about Saturn. Listen, it's not giant. It's just a little gassy. That's why it's got a little bump in the middle.
Every time I see Neil deGrasse Tyson on something, I want to kill myself.
No.
I just hate him so much.
Yeah.
I used to like him.
All
And then I realized that he's a cult leader. And that's
Oh.
weird to me.
Well,
And he's on talk show host. He's just like, look at my vest. Everyone goes, ah, he's smart.
All right, so
Anyway,
George,
continue.
yeah, George not only was told that you could live on other planets, he was given an old 50s slideshow because these are advanced aliens. Given a 50s slideshow of houses on Venus with gorgeous swimming pools, community parks, and even cities.
and you got a KitchenAid in the fucking. You can make rock pie on Venus.
It sounds like one of those timeshare pitches. It's like, we'll bring you over to the universe, but all you gotta do is sit for 3 hours, and we'll tell you about how you can wash your dishes, and the kids can play in the backyard on a recycled slide. That's great.
Yeah.
I love the mountains.
So it also
Are you tired of same old Earth? I can't clean the room the right way. Check
Gravity.
out my Venice.
so it turns out that the aliens could speak English all along. They just didn't want to and just preferred to talk telepathically. George
Oh, come
figured,
on, they learned.
Yeah.
They learned it. They
learned it.
They met one guy who was like, he speaks this weird English language. He's Polish,
Yeah.
so it doesn't. We don't need a lot of words.
Yeah, well, he's speaking this weird English. I know what country I landed in.
They talk like cavemen. They're like this. They're like, I like
Yeah.
hot dog.
hot dog.
Oh, that hot dog.
Poop, the same hole.
Oh.
Pee.
So aliens actually were living like these aliens were living as Earthlings, and they had been guiding and advising us. So
Oh, thank God. Thank
Oh,
God.
dude.
So it's working.
yeah. So
Edgar, your skin's hanging off your bones.
so apparently Earth was like the violent backyard wrestling stepchild of the solar system,
Yeah, that adds up.
Yeah, dude.
whereas all the rest of the planets lived in peace and harmony.
Gathering of the Earthalos.
Yeah.
We all just paint our face. That's the
Yeah.
big difference. We actually have done everything the same.
Yep.
We just paint our face. And then we can call each other's brothers and sisters. And drugs are fine.
So Earth was originally settled millions of years ago by people from this is the background of Earth, right? So it was settled millions of years ago by people from Mars and Venus. But
Yeah, women, men and women. You read that book too.
I read
That's science.
great book.
That's science.
But shit got fucked up and the planet started to change. It had a fucking puberty. You remember with the dinosaurs dying off and shit's exploding.
Right. Few puberties.
Yeah.
Got hair on Antarctica.
So these Venusians and Martians were like, fuck that shit. And they left.
Right.
Fuck you, Earth. Get
Yeah.
out of my room or something like that.
Well, I mean, these guys they're like, we got peace over there. We came here for vacation, but also it's hurricane season.
Yeah.
I'm not
Henry's
staying in the
coming.
Dominican Republic like now.
No.
Yeah.
It's September.
Hell no. I'm
Yeah.
going. I'm going up to the Brookshires,
Mm.
where I got a nice little cabin.
Mm-hmm. That's not here.
Yeah.
No.
Tell us, Travis.
So eventually, when Earth stopped having its geological tantrum, the Space Brothers decided, we kind of want to have a perfect utopia in the solar system, and so they took everyone who wasn't on board with the whole utopia thing and used Earth like a giant Australia, and just left them on Earth with no spaceships.
All right. This is adding up.
Yeah.
I'm really into it.
So they sent all the violent fucks there, and they're like, "Oh, have fun." And as the millennia passed, these scumbags formed civilizations that we know today. Now, occasionally, the brothers would come down and send people to help guide the Earthlings to probably redeem them out of their mean, ways, their violent ways. One of those dudes, Jesus.
Oh.
Get out of here. I know that name from somewhere. Go. What else? What is he doing?
George?
Jesus.
Oh, Jesus, he was just an alien boy that came down and they put him up on a fucking telephone pole.
It's so awesome.
I knew
Yeah.
It's so awesome that people know now. What I just heard.
it.
Continue. Tell us
Yeah.
more. Sorry, we keep holding you up, Travis.
So George is talking George is like getting all this shit. They're talking, he's drinking this sweet, dense water stuff that they gave him. And of course,
ice.
he's ogling.
Mike's hard there.
He's ogling those female aliens, which are just Swedish supermodels.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So when you say ogle, is that like 1950s ogle where it's with the hands and penis?
Yeah.
Or is it like now where it's just the eyes?
it's just the
It's
eyes.
just
Is there an
Oh,
ooga happening?
Yeah.
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 Is he turning into a wolf?
Yeah, he's doing a wolf, whistling, and like sweat's coming off of his head.
Right. They'll be like, here's the truth of the universe. And he's just like doing, somebody stop me.
Yeah.
And then the ship flies off, and it's like hubba hubba hubba.
Yeah, that one lone saxophone, like.
Oh my God. Jessica Rabbit just walked in front of me and she is so many nipples.
Hamina, 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 hamina.
So on his second trip, he met this Martian idiot, either named Zool or Zulu, because in the book I read, it just changed. He just doesn't know how to spell it.
Hell yeah, dude.
Go with it. It's Brian, actually.
Zulu.
I was looking at tits. I don't fucking know your name.
So
My name's George. I don't know your name.
yeah, on this second trip, Zool's like, "You want to see something cool? We're gonna go past the moon, dude. All your Earth scientists, they're all idiots. The moon is dope. You gotta go there."
God. Damn our Earth scientists.
Yeah. So the way the moon worked, you guys want to know how the moon really works. So the side that we see is just a desert, right? But you can still walk around. It's just hot. And when you go to the cusp between the light side and the dark side of the moon, there's a whole bunch of forests with cities and animals. And then on the back side, it's Sweden. It's just cold, but you can live there.
That's cool as shit.
It's Sweden. They're sending down like the best hockey goalies like every year, coming down, stopping pucks and whatnot.
Yeah.
And also, listen, I heard Dark Side of the Moon. We all heard this. It's a tremendous waste of plastic, the way they keep reprinting it and putting it into Urban Outfitters and all this kind of stuff.
Right. They
We
keep
don't
doing
know what it is.
I have a very rare copy of Dark Side of the Moon. I bought it the other day, fresh wrapped from an Urban Outfitters.
Oh,
Yeah.
super
And then
real.
And then I ate Chipotle. And I was like, this is sick.
This is
I'm gonna
life,
be a
baby.
millionaire.
There
This
is-
is as good as gold.
There is a song on there where it's like, listen, guy, I know your face. I know who you are. So what if I don't remember your name? Like, let's carry on.
It's fine. You know what? All this stuff is very believable. So let's keep going. I want to really wrap my head around it. Travis, take
I'm in.
me to where George is.
Right. So at the end of these 3 trips he has, he always ends up talking to a wise old master. Now, these humans, like they're human, but they have evolved further than we have. So they live to about 1,000. No biggie.
No problem.
Yeah. So he basically the master would always talk to George. He's like, "You're such a good boy for teaching that universal law shit that you do on Earth, because that's the real truth."
Right. Although it cannot be easily described.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But also at the same time, fucking told you so.
Yeah. And one time, one of the masters like, "You know what? You want to go see your wife that died a few years ago? She reincarnated on Jupiter. You want to go see her?" And George is like,
no, I don't actually.
Yeah. George is like, "No, I'm good. Can you smoke in here?"
Yeah. I've been doing this thing in Hollywood. I'm not sure she would like that. It's called gay sex, and I've been having a lot of fun.
Show me where my future wife is born right now. How you?
Right.
Yeah.
Men in Black.
But he also he did actually ask the Space Brothers if he could smoke on board, and they weren't very thrilled. But they're like, "Yeah, you can suck down some bogues."
All right, cool.
Yeah, you know what? Come on, aliens are smart. They know what year it is.
Yeah.
They're just sucking down like brick-sized like cigars. They're going, all right, that's what you smoke?
They're
Like wrapping their mouth around a brick.
Ah.
What's that filter thing on that? We just lick it.
Yeah.
We light our tongues on fire.
So I know you guys believe in this stuff, and I know it's not horseshit because it isn't horseshit, but some people might be sitting at home thinking, nah, this is all horseshit. This guy's crazy. He's making it up.
Turn it off. Turn the show off.
Yeah.
Go home. Get out of here. You're done.
Yeah.
But in the 50s, people sure didn't. They even, George was even investigated by cross-dressing J. Edgar Hoover and the FBI.
Wow. Well, that's because I don't know. Because probably
He's smart.
J. Edgar Hoover probably heard about the one tube for
Yeah, the one too.
He's a tube guy.
and he was like, "Wait, you could probably wear like a way shorter dress if
Yeah.
you just have to cover up one tube."
Yeah, I mean,
One
like,
tube to rule 'em all.
Realistically, I'm pretty sure that like the FBI had a whole division inspecting tubes.
Yeah.
And there's,
And
How do I put that in me and let it be me?
yeah.
There's no more overall seeing eye for just the sexiest things going on in the 50s
We're gonna take
than J. Edgar Hoover.
We're gonna take 1.5 foot of PVC, shove it up your ass, and tape your cock to it. And then we're gonna put a bigger piece of PVC around it, and you're gonna be the talk of the town, sir.
That's right. Then I can slip one of my microphones down there and listen to it.
So George got this attention because his followers were constantly calling the FBI and reporting George. Like, you gotta check this guy out. He been another planet.
Yeah.
And
There's a short man with some tall, sexy men.
yeah.
They saying they all brothers now. I don't know what they're doing, but it's making me nervous.
Yeah, George actually bragged that the FBI showed up and he faked these documents when he'd talk. He's like, look at this. This is a document that says I need to shut up. And the FBI actually did contact him, and he's like, you got to stop showing that off because, we can make just people disappear. Those are 50s.
Yeah, that's kind of counterintuitive to go like, I have a gag order,
Yeah.
and I also am busy Friday night, so please leave me alone.
Right. He was also interviewed by one of the Air Force things for the Blue Book, the project, which documented all these different alien encounters. And the guy who reported about him said that he thought he was complete bullshit. This was one of the not reels in the Blue Book. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, well, I mean, I gotta see what Bill Cooper thought of this guy. Because Bill Cooper was he was a lot more documented than this gentleman.
Yeah.
And I believe him more so.
So it wasn't just the government that was interested in George. George started doing world tours. Down in Australia, he was really big. And in 1959, he met with Queen Juliana of the Netherlands.
Who cares? Who cares about the Netherlands?
Well, the thing was, it turned into a huge scandal because George leaked their meeting to the London press, and a whole bunch of Dutch people were like, why the fuck is our queen meeting up with this fucking crazy guy?
Oh, we better make prostitution illegal.
Yeah.
Listen, America's gaining a really strong foothold on this planet, and you're telling me there's Nordics out there in spaceships? Hey, I'm a Nordic. Does he look like me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How can we make this work a little bit?
With Scandinavian scumbags dialing in and going, I know it. Like Miss Cleo, he's on TV. He's just like, I've seen the space.
I seen him.
I've been to the real Venice,
Bring
which
me-
is on Venice.
Hello, my name is George. Bring me your tall and your blonde and your one tubed.
And anyone else, stay home.
So as the years went on, George was getting into his 60s. George started to hear have a lot of telepathic conversations with these people from Venus and Mars, and the voices were talking very loud. He started to, really have some good conversations.
Now, I know what people at home are thinking, but Travis, I'm right there with you. This is no way schizophrenia.
No way.
This could not be
we don't make
schizophrenia.
fun of mental disabilities on the show.
Well,
I'm
what
not
we
a
do-
doctor.
Yeah.
I just know the truth that is out there.
Exactly.
That's it.
Yeah.
Schizophrenia is a scary one because that's how you get killed. But the other ones are funny.
Yeah.
The other ones are funnier.
Yeah.
But schizophrenia, like a lot of people do damage. So we don't make fun of those people. We honor their presence. We get to know their stories.
So what was George's like speaking fee at this? Like, was he going around colleges giving
Great
convention
question.
speeches?
He was making.
was he cashing in at all with like, with his brilliance?
Oh.
like Pat,
He was making
Yes.
so much money. He was making hand over fist.
I love this country.
Yeah.
Sick.
So there were two more big moments in George's life. He claimed in the early 60s that he went to an interplanetary council meeting in Saturn, and he's like, "You guys don't collect the garbage enough. Gotta clean up, dude."
He's kind of like a parrot at like a drug dealer's meeting.
Yeah.
You know, like a bunch of guys with guns and like something's going down. And they just put him in the cage, and he's like, I don't understand any of this, but I'm so excited to be here. I'm really happy that you would allow me to squawk back to it. You know,
Yeah.
like,
George, you weren't at an intergalactic meeting on Saturn. You had the Twilight Zone blasting on Saturday. It's different. Like, you were just in your house.
God, I'm just watching guys sweat and looking at dolls.
And also in the 60s, he had a secret meeting with the Pope.
Okay, which pope was that?
I didn't write it down. I think it was Alexander.
Okay. What were his policies?
Hit gays in the face and touch children in the penis.
Okay. Well, I mean, we're talking about real world policies here.
Yeah, get God or die trying.
Right.
No, so apparently George wanted
fear.
he wanted to meet with the Pope because the Pope had questions for aliens, but the Pope couldn't talk to aliens because he didn't have telepathy.
Right. I'm a pope. I don't know. I'm simple. I live in Italy. I don't know where I'm from, though. What do these aliens think about small, tiny baby
I was
penises?
like, hey, my alien friends. Hey, try this cracker. Tell me what you really think.
Yeah.
Is it good? Is that the best? Is that the best cracker you ever had?
Does it need a little bit of salt?
Hold on, sit down. That's the
It's okay.
At the body of the Jesus.
The body of the Jesus. Hey,
Oh, you know him?
look.
No, not like I do.
Yeah, no, they sent Jesus.
don't know.
They sent Jesus down to Earth, and they fucking roasted him.
Guys, you only saw like one resurrection. He does that weekly up here. It's like a fucking Las Vegas show. He's just getting nailed to fucking death. Every 40 Fridays, he comes back. He goes, "Fuck my dick with your cloacus." That's the miracle part, that he can get so hard after losing that much blood.
Yeah.
Hey,
So-
Jesus, quit hogging all the nailing, huh? Spread it around, huh?
Yeah. So the proof that
I
George
would
actually met the Pope was that he said the Pope gave him a little gold coin with the Pope's face on it.
That's what I do when people meet me in person.
Yeah.
Every gold coin I've ever received has turned out to be chocolate.
Yeah.
Oh,
Um,
you're half Jewish. You have
So was this similar?
Yeah, well,
Is this
it turns
are all the religions the same?
It turns out that this gold coin you could get of the Pope's face, you could get at the gift shop in the Vatican.
But he didn't pay for his.
Yeah, he didn't pay for
It's
it.
still a
That's the
gift.
difference. That's the where's your receipt? I don't have one. I
he-
was
Need
given it.
He took the shop out of the gift and said, "Here's a gift."
Right.
Okay, so Justin, you want to ask me the question?
Listen, I know that we're all made, we're mushed together smart of star stuff,
What is this sentence?
and you know, once you're born, do you ever truly did? But I want to know how George did it. Did he hit that tree or what?
Okay, so George,
Nice.
like I said, he was filthy rich from his UFO TED Talks, and he was jet setting all over the place. And in 1965, George was hanging out with his friend and follower, Madeline Rotifer. Now, her husband was in the hospital, so this old man, George, was hanging out watching her anus, making sure she didn't light the house on fire or something.
Hospital's good. You got to check out.
Yeah.
So you just like
Yeah, some hospital is fucking it's a body shot for the body. It's
Yeah.
still a body shot.
The real body shop.
Right.
Sorry.
So he's hanging out with Madeline,
that.
and they spot a small craft heading towards Washington. And of course, at this point, he's got enough money. He's got better than a Polaroid. He pulls out his film camera,
Okay.
and he starts shooting video of this craft. Now he goes to get this film developed, and he said the developer stole the footage. He said it was the best footage that he ever got in his life, but the developer stole it.
Even so, the developer showed him the footage and then stole it.
Yeah.
It was like, this is how it's coming out. It takes a long time. Give me a little more. I got to finish the last few frames.
This is the best footage you've ever done. You know, I want to thank you for your business. You've been coming to me for a long time. This is the best thing you've ever done. Oh, whoops.
Whoops! Stolen.
Oh, no. It's gone now.
Look over there, a white square.
So,
Where'd that guy go?
yeah, so,
My 1970s neck can't turn around so quick.
yeah. So he goes off. He leaves Madeline, goes to Rochester, New York, to do a lecture, and he does another one, coming back to Washington D.C. And he wasn't feeling too hot, so he skipped his lecture in Washington D.C. Got the news that his film was missing or stolen. When he got back to Maryland and hanging out with Madeline, on April 23rd. 1965, at the age of 74, Adamski died of a heart attack in Silver Springs, Maryland, at Madeline's home.
Classic way to die.
Man, he just went home.
Went back
Just
to
He just went back to side.
and that's our boy George.
All right, boy George, that's nice. I appreciate how much truth he spoke. I appreciate how eye-opening he was to the rest of the world. I can appreciate a man who travels, except
Yeah.
Jeff Bezos, because he's annoying when he talks about it. Not so much the feed is, I don't know, it's a billionaire. Who cares?
Yeah. I mean, I love a good origin story, and what better one than the UFOs? You know what I mean? And this
Yeah,
guy,
I mean,
he reached his hand up and brought us the fucking truth, man, and also a fun maybe like listen, Independence Day, Men in Black,
Right.
Mars Attacks. It's a good movie still.
I'm gonna watch it with you. We're gonna watch it on 2 TVs.
We owe this all to this man.
well, you know, he's the first ambassador to Earth, not the last. Hopefully, first ambassador to Earth.
All right. Well, if we had to vote in an ambassador,
Uh-huh.
like, would this be a ridiculous thing? Because I'm just gonna go with anyone with AIDS,
Yeah,
and just so they can tell a sob story.
I would
We'll
say
go
Guy
Earth.
Fieri. He's a very nice man. He donates a lot, and he likes sauce. And I know aliens love sauce.
Yeah, they do.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Who would you send out there to our smarter Nordic friends?
Oh, I would probably. I mean, like it's my answer for most things, but I'm gonna send The Rock everywhere. Only because I still think that doorways are too narrow, and he is a beacon of the wider doorway movement.
The only way you can make The Rock better is if he had the surgery and he went all the way and got the cloaca installed. So he didn't have to wait around like the rest of us and come shit and piss at the same time.
The Rock says, "I do it all at the same hole."
Do you smell what's in my hole?
It's a lot of things.
That's the 90s for you. It's just like the 90s was just a confused mix-up state. Now everyone's trying to trade one hole for another hole, but the future is all one hole. We know that.
I also heard The Rock eats like 10 pounds of cod every day. So he might have a cloaca.
Yeah, just over time, your dick starts to shrivel and travel like some kind of fluke's eye
Yep.
or a flounder eye. Just
They do, they start on two separate sides and then float over.
I thought it was the other way
Yeah.
around.
No, they start as a fish swimming like a regular fish,
they get lazy.
and
They get
then
stupid.
and then the eye travels onto one side. That's for fluke. You see it on the right side,
Right.
and then flounder, it's on the left side.
I did not know
they're
that.
they're
they
opposite
flounder.
sides. Exactly.
Is that like people with really bent necks? How they like their most important position is watching TV in bed?
It's the bed neck. Yeah,
That's what-
yeah.
This is how I am now. I'm just looking down all the
But that's
time.
why all the fishing hooks are curved, because most fish have those bent necks.
Yeah. And then you
gotta
have
get down
those,
there.
those those people with heavily bent penises that can shoot loads around corners.
Yeah, that's a gift.
Do we know for sure if any of our friends have a bent penis?
Actually, I don't know. I haven't examined closely.
Yeah.
No,
This is
I haven't. Usually, when anyone pulls out their penis, I grab my protractor. But usually when we're hanging out, I don't have my protractor handy.
Right, that's the problem.
I feel like they would have told us.
yeah. Could you?
I would have told you. I would have been like, listen,
Yeah.
this shit is at like 70 degrees. It's going.
It's like a boomerang.
Yeah.
I've exposed myself more than any of my friends I know. I've been in Ray's pool. Ray, who does in fact have a girlfriend, his pool many times naked. When everyone's going, it's the winter, Tom. Why are you doing that? Everyone's inside. No, all times a year you must show yourself.
Get it out.
Is what a sick younger version of myself was doing.
Exactly.
You have to dampen your cloaca.
And imagine how many more times you would show yourself if it was all in the front instead of the front and the back.
That, and the feedback box that I left out. Most of the answer that's pretty straight.
Wait, there's a feedback box?
I always left the feedback box.
There's like a muffler on the exhaust.
Yeah, yeah. It's a.
Wait, Tom, did we actually get any voicemails? Did people leave voicemails?
Oh,
about
yeah. One
aliens?
person left a voicemail, and look, we talked about it on the show. We tweeted about it. We Instagrammed about it. I understand why people don't want to tell us their stories, but one brave person, sent a story.
person.
Oh my God.
Okay, Travis, I will send it to you. You listen to it on your own. We're gonna listen to it here. We'll
All right.
converse after.
Who was calling you?
I don't know.
Somebody wanted to, I put it out there. I'd love to hear your experiences and compare it to the real man, the real research. See how close you get.
Are these calls specific to the episode?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
It's one call.
Well, shame on everybody else.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah. You guys got to be out in fields alone, cornfields more often alone with your anus out.
I was doing drugs listening to Tool one time on Alex Gray's property, which was
That's Tool.
it was a harmonious experience, and we walked through the woods, littered with his sculptures and 8x10s of the Tool members stapled onto trees. And we came upon a bluff, and we looked at it, and I feel like after this episode, I feel like George would really know what I'm talking about.
He would.
Oh, okay.
All right, Travis, I'm going to play this voicemail.
All right. I'm going to play it now.
Hi. So I've had an experience with a UFO once in my lifetime. I live in Rhode Island, which is the smallest and shittiest state. But I was driving to pick up my sister with my dad one time when I was a kid. And we were just passing by, like, the theater because she was in a play. And above the theater, there was this big red, like, circle, like a big orb floating in the air. And it was, like, right above the theater, and my dad and I both saw it, and we were like, yo, what the hell is that? And my tiny, like, little 6-year-old brain was like, yo, that's gotta be a fucking UFO. And my dad was like, we're gonna drive around the back of the building, and we're gonna take a closer look at that shit. And by the time we had gone around to the back, it was already fucking gone. Like, we just went over, like, under a little bridge, like, just to get around the back of the building. And by the time we had circled around, it was gone. I may have just been stupid and seen ball lightning, but, it'd be like that. Aliens exist for sure. 420 Blaze it. Fuck you, Travis.
Well, it looks like you got a little case of red alien man.
Yeah, I think his story doesn't check out at all because he was a child and also he cursed a lot.
Yeah, how old was he? About third grade?
6. He said, yeah,
Oh,
third.
okay.
Six.
It's a little young for third
Who
grade.
cares? As a child, you should never believe children.
I agree.
If we learned anything from this story, it's aliens like old men. The older, the better.
That's right. And theater, which, again, like I was saying before, you tried telling me wrong president, but that's not true. Precursor to Hollywood, which we all know. If I have to say it, then it's too late.
Yeah.
Hollywood, you know. You know what I mean?
All right, Hollywood. So there you go. That's the show. Travis, thank you very much for bringing us into Alien. Hold on. Wait, before we move along, any other thoughts on that guy's voicemail? I wanted to say more, but also I don't believe him.
Well,
As a believer of aliens, I agree with him because I know that they're. I don't believe I know.
I think this guy may have won Ben Stein's money, and his eyes may have been very red, and needs Visine
What a good
because he
show.
said 420 blaze it. So
Yeah.
now, this it's just it's a frustrating story.
Yeah.
Because you just want to know more.
it's true.
What were you wearing? What did you eat? What was your dad do for a living?
Was the play
What kind of car were you driving?
any good?
What play was it?
Yeah, exactly. Has she graduated from theater to maybe the motion pictures?
You mentioned something about a little bridge. Is that sexual? Probably not.
Well, it's in
But-
Rhode Island, dude. I mean, isn't that what they call a sexual bridge in Rhode Island?
Little bridge.
Yeah, the little bridge.
Bridge boys? Skin bridge.
It's like, hey, you wanna meet Bridges later?
Yeah.
That's what if you can.
Yeah.
They call them Bridgets up there. You want to
Bridgets.
have a good time with the lady.
At the same time though, this is like a lot of UFO stories. They're always like, well, you had to be there, man.
That's true.
I
yeah.
saw this thing and
That's kind of like this show. To understand how funny it is, you have to be here. And that's what you need to tell your friends when you tell them about the show. You should be telling. Look, anyone who listens to this, you need to harass your family members and friends to listen to this show more.
it's true.
Cousins you haven't talked to in 12 years, first thing out of your mouth should be like, listen to Roast Mortem. You learn.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah. You know what? That was the last thing Orthon said to fucking George was listen to Roast Mortem Cast in the future after you're dead.
And Orthon was like,
Reincarnated.
ha, 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 ha. And he has earbuds in his inside. That's how he listens. Because he's Orthon, and him and his friends Bradley and Chinaman, they all listen to the show on their Apple products via Spotify because it's available everywhere. They skipped over. So
and if you want to learn more about cloacas, just go to patreon.com/roastmortemcast where you can learn more.
we're about to talk about this for a good half hour.
The waves are traveling out into space right now
Right.
because it's also on terrestrial radio,
Mhm.
which turns into extraterrestrial radio.
They know.
Like Johnny Unitas throwing a bomb of a pass, now hitting the Kuiper Belt as we speak. I just want to say out there to all you listeners that Lateralis is a really good record. And
come we invite you on the show, and you just like you say that, and it's like,
come on, man.
well, fuck you guys.
Justin,
Thank you. That's a beautiful note.
Justin's joining the Royal Order of Tibet, aka the Alex Gray Society.
I don't
Yeah,
actually.
The Sasha Gray Society.
Sasha Grace.
I don't actually recognize Tibet as a country.
I don't either. I actually don't recognize the East as a place.
Yeah, I think when I think of Asia, I think of China because I have several business dealings up in the air right now, and
Right.
I'd like to protect that and buy a giant house.
It's all giant, and it's all
Yeah.
China. So what happened? Yeah, it's just a giant ship, and it's all China. And I just want to thank China for listening, and I want to thank every one of you for listening. Justin, where can people hear you at the beginning of and the end of episodes of?
Yeah, where can
Yeah.
we hear about your weekends?
Yeah, it's cool. Listen to me at the top and bottom of every Heavy Hole podcast episode. HeavyHolePodcast.com. That's the same phone number also that you would call for Roast Mortem.
Actually, yeah, I'm totally open to just playing random UFO encounters. So
Yeah, I like
keep them
this.
coming. 631-837-3274 if you want to tell us about a UFO encounter. It might show up on an episode about, like, I don't fucking know, maybe George C. Scott.
Yeah.
Why not?
Maybe
is
about
fun.
Christopher Columbus.
Yeah, he did it.
Yeah.
He's half alien. We know that's how we got here so quick.
Yeah.
What is Nina and Pinto Santa Maria doing on Long Island in 20 minutes?
Yeah.
I want to thank you guys for bringing me on.
Thanks for being
And it's a pleasure to come here and talk and to plug my website, pornhub.com/DannyD. And it's really, it's whenever, we can just talk about it. It's fun. So thank you.
I'm excited to have you on the show more
Yeah,
because I
thanks
love
for
you, you're my
having me on.
friend. Yes. Thanks for having us
Thanks
on
for
your life.
having us on.
So what's going? Yeah. So So thank you for listening to Roast Morning Podcast.
Thank you.
I'm about to go through Tom's closet of old shoes and pick out what my new pair of shoes are going to be.
You're more than welcome. Travis, tell us about the show. Tell us about the rest of it. Close us out for the night.
You go to roastmortem.coms.
All right, I'm going to drink beer now. Thanks for listening.
You go to roastmorningcast.com. You can check out some merchandise. You can.
Yeah, see, he knows.
Is there a
I
link
don't
to
need to say
is there a link to the Patreon on the website?
Do we? I don't even know.
Oh, yeah,
Travis,
we got
you did such a
Patreon.
nice
Yeah, there would be.
Patreon.com/roastmorningcast.
Yeah,
Patreon.com/heavyhole-podcast. Patreon.com/ismydicktobig.com.
Yeah.
Nope.
Thank you, Shane.
Patreon.
Thank you, Shane.
Thank you.
All right.